ASMONGOLD reacted to my video calling out grifters for ruining gaming. And now that his fan base has found my video, it's going pretty much exactly how you think it would. Yeah, safe to say I made some people unhappy. But the funniest part about all of this, ASMONGOLD himself didn't even disagree with me that much. But let's watch it together and address some points he made. Let me warn you now though, you're about to witness one of the most egregious cases of goalpost shifting.
Grifters are ruining gaming.
Have you ever been so excited for an upcoming brand new video game just to be disappointed and let down again when it turns out the main character is a woman?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Because anybody that's changing the gender of the character doesn't give a fuck about the game. Absolutely.
What? No? What game are you talking about?
Nope, it's not normal to want to change the character.
Grifters are what is bro on about? I'm saying it's dumb to write a game off just for having a woman main character. And you're saying if they're changing the gender, they don't care about the game. What game are you talking about, bro? If you mean something like Ghost of Yotei, which I know you weren't happy about at first, here's my thing about that. Totally valid to be disappointed that we didn't get Jin Sakai again. A little weird to be disappointed just at the fact that it's a woman. Call me too woke, I think that's silly as hell. Continue though. Grifters are completely ruining gaming. And that might sound dramatic or like I'm giving them too much credit, but they legit actually have enough dumbasses listening to the words they're saying to the point where it actually has a detrimental effect on gaming. But let's take a step back real quick.
So he crying because it works.
Here we go.
You crying because it works.
Okay, bro.
Well, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. That's great. Absolutely. Yeah, I know it works. And the thing is that every single time that I see this, this makes me feel good.
Tell me why.
This is somebody even that disagrees with me that got to admit that, damn, they're making some change.
Whoa! Let me stop you right there. I'm talking about the effect grifters have on gaming discourse, not the actual development process of the game. And I'm not gonna lie, it's clearly not working. What have you guys changed in gaming? If y'all are making such a difference, why are all these games that you consider woke slop, why do they keep coming out? Could it just be that some are for you and some aren't, and that's okay? Let's say I have lunch at a park every day, a beautiful, quiet park. Let's say one day you gather all your friends and you come to the park where I eat at every day. You and your friends start protesting that you should be able to poop anywhere you want in the park. You think you should be able to just let your pants down and rip it, bro, wherever in the park. Even if you get 30, 40, 100 people in the park chanting for your cause, all you're doing is making noise and making the park harder to enjoy for everyone else. Even if you make enough noise that I have to acknowledge you because I care about my park, it doesn't mean you actually changed anything.
I'm saving gaming. You're welcome. You're welcome, by the way. I do this for free.
Bro does not do this for free. Some of you might not even know what the hell I'm talking about. To understand how we got to where we are in gaming, we first need to understand what a grifter is. The definition of grifter that I like the most is petty swindler. And I can't lie, I can't think of a better description. Because that's what these little trolls do, bro. They just fucking they create issues out of literally thin air, Houdini, and then they convince you that you should be mad about said made-up issue.
Well, aren't you doing that too?
Saw that one coming. Well, aren't you doing it too? No. A grifter doesn't necessarily believe what they're saying. They're playing off of others' emotions or lack of education for profit. I'm not doing that. I provide examples to the pointless conversations being held and how they contribute to a worse gaming discourse overall, but we'll get to it in a minute.
I think that grifter is one of those words that that's used, overused massively.
Yep, it is. But yeah.
Basically, what this person is saying is that, like, and also here's another thing. So I can approach the accusation.
Okay, pause right there. I already see the play. He's gonna downplay and write off the term grifter because it's a term he's tired of seeing. Wonder why he's tired of seeing it. But that doesn't mean you can just write it off like they don't exist. It's not hard to define the word grifter. Let's not overcomplicate it here.
I can approach the accusation of grifter from two different directions.
Right.
The first direction that I would approach it from is that being a grifter implies that you're doing something for profit.
Yeah.
I will tell you, as somebody who has gotten a lot of sponsors and things like that, is that being against certain types of representation in video games, even whenever it's done in a cynical, self-serving DEI way, is actually less profitable as a business model.
ASMONGOLD, you're a millionaire, so you're probably a bit out of touch on certain things, but profit is profit. Yeah, these grifters may not get a Sony sponsorship after calling Wolverine a DEI woke slop game just because they don't like how Mystique looks, but that doesn't mean profits don't manifest in different ways. Because like you said, some of these creators and their fans get labeled as racist or sexist for some of the racist or sexist things they say. So when they gain an audience that feels like they're being seen by this creator who's really manufacturing things for them to be mad at, they support them the hardest, bro. What? These grifters will have die-hard fans, bro. Patreons, everything. It may not be the most profitable option, which is a dumb argument by itself. In pretty much every field, not everybody is going to go for the most profitable option anyway. It's just an avenue to make money online. They can make similar or more than they were making at a regular 9 to 5 by sitting back on their computer and pretending that gaming is under attack. And they're going to choose to do that every single time because it's fast, you can get a loyal fan base and consistent money. I mean, dog, even swearing in your videos puts you at risk to lose money, but people still do it even if it's a little bit less profitable than not swearing at all.
How is it grifting? Like, do you think that they don't have those opinions? Because
Yes.
grifting is whenever you're having opinions that you don't actually have. You're putting forward something that you think is a lie or that you know is inaccurate. That's not what's happening here.
That is what's happening here. I mean, how many people were crying on Twitter about Insomniac belittling their fans over a 2-emoji tweet? How many people claim to have knowledge of the Ghost of Yotei sales numbers being a complete flop simply because they don't like the actress, even though the game turned out to be a massive success? Yes, 100% since the dawn of the internet. People get online and lie, exaggerate, or make up things to get mad at for profit. They fabricate reasons for easily manipulated people to be angry at for their own profit. And we know this. I don't know why you're trying to act like this is some crazy, never seen before thing. You really think people would lie on the internet for fame and money and spread things they don't believe? Yes! Have you and I been on the same internet? There's only one reason I can see you benefiting from pretending that grifting isn't a real thing, but that's neither here nor there. Now, we see this in a lot of places. Politics is one of the biggest ones, but gaming is among the absolute worst.
Yeah, people just use that word. Like, they don't even, like, you got to use the dictionary. You got to figure out what that word means.
Okay, I could say the exact same thing about how most of your fan base uses the term DEI. Most of them don't even know what the 3 letters stand for. Again, him trying to downplay the term grifter and say it's overused, which it is, even though I gave a definition on screen and explained how these people fit into that definition. But okay, bro. And I know grifting isn't the same as rage bait, but when you start profiting off the rage bait by paying for a blue check mark, yeah, I'm not cool with that, man. Because besides YouTube, there's really only one platform that these people really like to congregate on. You go on Instagram. You heard him? He knows it. It's Twitter. He said it himself before I said it. Instagram, TikTok, some shit like that. There's gonna be normal conversations being held.
What are you, on Instagram? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I saw a clip of Adolf Hitler on a whale next to a dog and had like 100,000.
Okay, I hear you on that. I'm not saying you won't see bullshit on Instagram. That's not what I'm saying. But your example is completely irrelevant. I'm saying on Twitter, X specifically, that's where the most grifters run wild. That's where they all come to congregate more than any other platform. You said it yourself before I even got to that. You already knew that I was gonna say Twitter before I said it, which proves my point. But obviously you can see some degenerate meme photo on any platform. And that's completely irrelevant because I'm talking about gaming discourse and how it changes between platforms. Just some normal people for the love of the game. Maybe
y'all seen that one?
Some shit like that. Everything changes when you open twitter.com. I'm not calling that shit X, gang. Come on.
Well, the reason why you gotta be honest about this is that,
tell me,
the reason why Twitter has these conversations and places like TikTok don't, is because TikTok gets people banned for having the conversations.
Wait a minute. TikTok absolutely has these conversations, though. It's not as many grifters on TikTok, but there's absolutely conversations being held about gaming on TikTok.
Didn't really go and act like it's some kind of accomplishment that, or some sort of unique problem that like Twitter has. The only reason why you're not seeing more people saying things that you disagree with is that it's illegal and not illegal, but it's against the rules to disagree with you.
Oh, what the fuck? Are we dead ass serious? Bro said it's against the rules on TikTok to disagree about gaming. Dog, what are you talking about? Clips of you saying the same shit I'm talking about are on TikTok. You literally can't make this shit up, bro. What are you talking about? I will acknowledge all day long, yes. TikTok is a bit more restrictive on what you can and can't say, especially when it comes to controversial topics. But you can absolutely still have all the same conversations and debates about wokeism and DEI and games and shit. Absolutely you can. I talk about this shit on TikTok all the time. I've literally disagreed with you on there. Come on, bro. This isn't even the first time you've reacted to my content. You reacted to me shitting on Star Wars Outlaws when it came out. You hear that, ASMONGOLD fans? I don't like Star Wars Outlaws either. If TikTok was some positive only, no debate ass app, I would have never been able to make those videos. It's definitely a bit more restrictive, but nowhere near to the extent that he's trying to say.
That's the big problem. is that on every platform that is an open forum for discussion,
Yeah.
the ideas that these other people are putting forward are overwhelmingly popular to the extent that even by his own admission, the video game companies capitulate to them.
Whoa! Another case of him putting words in my mouth. We're only 4 minutes in. Me being frustrated at grifters for ruining productive conversations in gaming is not me admitting that there's been a change in gaming from these people. I never once admitted that these ideas were so popular that games are being forced to change. I said grifters have a detrimental effect on gaming. Not so much at the studio level, but at the conversational level. You really gotta step out the echo chamber if you think someone like me, a dude who just wants to play a good game, is tired of games being boiled down to a label like Gooner Game or DEI garbage before they even come out, someone who prefers to judge the game on stuff that actually matters instead of throwing a hate brigade on the game because I don't like one of the character designs that much. You're trying to paint me to be way worse than it actually is to aid your argument. I'm thinking there's probably a few more people out there like me than you care to realize. Should have never allowed people to get paid from engagement on their tweets on Twitter.
I agree with that, to be fair.
Oh, that shit has been the most detrimental thing to why does he agree? Society since crack hit in the 80s. And then to add fuel to the fire.
Actually, I mean, I'm okay with it, but like they need to have a better approval process because too many people use it badly.
Oh, interesting. Too many people use it badly. What do you mean by that, ASMONGOLD? You're not saying that people would pay for a blue check mark on Twitter to get paid for tweeting and then abuse it by engagement farming and rage baiting to earn money? You mean you don't like that either? Man, if only there was a word for that. You cannot make this shit up, dude. 5 seconds ago, bro was acting like grifting was a foreign concept to him. Now he's like, yeah, too many people abuse getting paid for tweets on X. Bro, at least keep your own logic consistent. My God. All right, we got this whole rage bait culture going on now. Because you can say some shit that you know is completely false and then turn around and hide behind. That's bro, true. You fell for the rage bait. Yeah. Let me give you guys a couple examples of what we're talking about here. Take the Wolverine game coming out for PlayStation 5. You guys remember the Wolverine reveal just a couple of weeks ago, right? Showed Wolverine, Mystique, the combat, some of the story, the graphics look good. I mean, shit. Yup.
Nope, what about it?
It ain't good enough for these losers. Do my ears deceive me? Did y'all hear him say that?
Nope. What about it?
It's Mystique. What about it? I'ma remember you said that, bro. For a group of people that can't even stand it when a woman is a lead character in the game, you would think that a Wolverine video game would be their cup of tea. You think that would be exactly what they need. Nah, bro. They're mad about the woman that is in the game. These people are mad that the X-Man Mystique, the blue shape-shifting mutant, is not sexy enough for them. Okay.
Exactly.
What?
Somebody wants a hot bitch in their game. What's the problem with that?
ASMONGOLD, did a brick hit your head in the last 30 seconds and I missed it or something? You literally just went back to your default settings, bro. You proved my point. 5 seconds ago, you yourself said, that's Mystique. What's the issue? Which I agree with. Now you're saying, well, why shouldn't we want hot girls in games? Who says we can't have that? Why is that bad? Who made you decide that? I never said that. Find one time in the original vid or this vid where I said we shouldn't want hot characters in games. You can't. Because I didn't say that, and that's not my argument. All I'm saying is it's absolutely ridiculous to completely write a game off and call it DEI slop simply because a side character's design isn't your favorite. And clearly it's doing its job. It looks like Mystique enough for even you to be like, that's Mystique. What's the issue? But you can't help yourself, can you? You immediately made up an imaginary issue to get mad at. You're fighting ghosts, bro. You don't even realize you do it too because it's your default setting. And now you've got your audience of poor souls rallying talking about some, yeah, we should be able to have hot girls in games. Fuck what that guy's talking about. Why shouldn't we be able to? Nobody said that. And this is a prime example in real time how that type of disingenuousness doesn't help gaming at all. You're putting words in my mouth and getting mad at me for things I never said. And I think you do it on purpose because you know there's truth to what I'm saying, but you can't even acknowledge it because you have to die on your hill. You know what I'm bringing up is real, so you pivot to a whole different argument. And that argument is a good separate argument. There should be allowed to be hot girls in games. Nobody's saying there shouldn't be. But that's still a different argument because no one said there shouldn't be. Goalpost shifting like you wouldn't believe.
Who decided that's a bad thing?
Not me.
Who decided that's something that you're not supposed to say?
Not me. You're fighting ghosts, bro.
And like, yeah, who decided this? That's her Mystique. Yeah, it's her appeal. Yeah, I remember back in the day, bro, Mystique was hot as fuck. Mystique and Rogue were hot as hell.
But she looks good in the game. How much hotter do we gotta make her? She look good.
Better. And also, here's the other thing, is that I guarantee you if she was more attractive, it'd sell more copies.
All right, bro.
It's undeniable that having attractive, appealing characters is better than having characters that are unattractive and unappealing.
Dude, Sex sells. That's a fact. I can't argue that. I can't disagree with that. It's just the truth. You seem to think other people don't get that. That's not the case. Sex does sell, but does that mean I need to see big flopping mommy milkers on Mystique in the Wolverine game? You're telling me in this gritty ass, realistic, mutant hunting world, Mystique should be the one character with an over-sexualized design? That just doesn't fit this game. I think she looks good, but more importantly, I can tell that's Mystique. You could too, which means it's accurate to the source material and it fits the art direction of the game. I'm not saying make her butt ass ugly, but she just looks realistic for the game. She looks good.
I mean, that's why every gacha game has attractive characters.
Right.
That's why, and if you think that I'm wrong on this, go look at the characters that girls cosplay.
Okay.
Not only do men not like these characters, but women don't even like these characters. That's why they don't pretend to be these characters.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't go to gacha games for like a God of War level narrative type of story. Gacha games, bro, we're talking about hyper stylized games. The whole aesthetic of these games are the art style and the addictive gameplay loop. A more realistic game that's meant to feel more immersive won't follow that model. It'll just have people looking more realistic, not ugly. If Atsu from Ghost of Yote was some tiny waist, mommy milker, skimpy clothes ass wearing character, that doesn't even fit the aesthetic and identity the game is going for. So if that's what you want so bad, you should just play a game that fits more of what you're looking for instead of force your opinions onto every other game. Because some of the games have a vision for what they want themselves to be, and it can be very hard to have both while still having immersion.
Now, they might dress up like Rouge or like Rogue or fucking Mystique, but not from the game like that.
Oh, dude. This Mystique is wearing like a combat uniform. She's undercover right now. We don't know what her full design will look like, so I don't even know why we're judging it off the 1-second clip she's in. Girls are hot, bro. They make costumes look hot. When I think of what I'm attracted to, I don't first think of ninjas, but I do see a bunch of sexy ninja girls on Halloween. I won't say that I completely don't get what you're saying, but someone choosing to cosplay a character they deem attractive doesn't mean a game like Wolverine will be bad or woke just because you don't like Mystique's design in that game. But we're getting way off topic here. DEI Mystique. What the hell does that even mean? It's at the point now they just throw around whatever buzzword they want to, bro. This shit makes no sense because, dog, the attractiveness of a character does not impact the gameplay at all.
Why make it ugly?
So you think they're intentionally making characters look ugly? This may shock you, but people do have different definitions for attractive. Of course, as a people, I think we have a general consensus on like attractive versus not. But like, how far in attractiveness do you need a side character like Mystique to scale up to? Especially before she starts looking out of place art-wise. Beauty really must be in the eye of the beholder, because I ain't gonna lie.
She is very gorgeous to me!
If it doesn't matter, then why intentionally make it bad? Does it make sense?
Who says they're making it intentionally bad, though? I mean, and that's the thing, because 5 seconds ago, right? 5 seconds ago, you said Mystique's design is fine. It's normal. Now, 2 minutes later, you're saying, why would they intentionally make a character look bad? You just went from, that's Mystique, what's the issue, to why shouldn't we have hot girls in games, to claiming they're making characters ugly intentionally. Okay, ASMONGOLD, yeah, you totally believe everything that's coming out of your mouth. We give a damn about the side characters' looks right now. On top of that, this shit is the most ironic thing.
Because the reason why, here's the reason why, I'll give an honest answer, is that
I
it's
love
a
it. Here we
mining
go.
canary.
Okay.
It's something that people have seen over and over with video games, that continuously uglify characters. They make them look weird. They give them uncertain genders. They look like androgynous characters rather than definitive male or female characters.
Right.
A lot of these video games that have released have had a pattern of being horrible.
Link from Legend of Zelda was intentionally designed to look gender neutral, just so the character could be more relatable to more people. Literally confirmed by the people who designed the character. Is that too woke, ASMONGOLD? Is that an example of DEI ruining games? Or was it just a creative decision that paid off massively? Since Link and The Legend of Zelda are two of the most popular things in gaming. If Legend of Zelda dropped brand new today, y'all would be calling it woke slop. Right,
like
okay.
the new Black Ops game, for example, you have obviously Avowed, you have Dragon Age,
bro,
you
what
have
the fuck are these
Assassin's Creed
examples?
Shadows, there's Star Wars Outlaws. Like, there are so many different points on the graph that show that, you know, desexualizing characters and the games that do that have been tremendously unsuccessful, that now people have recognized a pattern.
Right.
And I think this pattern is very easy to understand. And
desexualizing implies that games are inherently supposed to be sexual. And I don't think that's fair to games. Star Wars Outlaws was hot ass, but I can tell that it was a woman main character. You couldn't? And the story is poorly written. It's a horrible game, but it's still Star Wars for the most part. I don't think it's disrespectful to the franchise. It just sucked ass. If everything in the game was the same and we just made the main character more attractive, this game would still be hot ass. Black Ops 7? Are we talking about her? She's not even the main character. Black Ops 7 was abysmal dog shit, I'm not going to lie. But it's not because of her, dog. She's barely in it. Assassin's Creed Shadows? Really? Shadows was a very mid game, but it's not because of these character designs. It also sold pretty well for an Assassin's Creed game. It wasn't a failure.
What happens is that those people, the reason why they do that is because they don't care about what the audience wants.
Okay.
They don't care about whether somebody likes this or not. They care about using this as a position to where they can push their worldview.
Isn't that what some people do too by writing off a whole game simply because it has a woman lead? How many people were saying Ghost of Woke as soon as they found out the main character was a woman this time? Some of these people even being fans of Tsushima. So I could easily say they don't really care about games. They don't really care about variety and creative choice. They don't care about a different perspective. You want every game to be exactly like whatever your vision for it is. So what's really the difference here? I don't see you making a game with a bunch of bad bitches in it if that's what you want so bad.
Like that doesn't really respect the player, and they also don't respect the medium that they're making a game for.
Okay.
So really big surprise that a person who is just by categorical association disrespecting the source material and not creating content for their core audience, big surprise that you're going to have a larger group out of that sample size that is going to create bad products.
Here's my thing, right? If those games always fail, why are you so upset? You should want that. If they fail, they make no money and there's less chance of a game like that coming out again. Games with theming or politics you don't agree with will come out. They will always come out. And that one game coming out is not going to turn every other game woke. And if a game you consider woke slop does bad, fails, and loses money, great! That's what you want, right?
And even if you disagree, you just, all you have to do is look at the points on the graph.
He loves saying that.
That's a straight fucking line.
He loves saying that.
There's maybe one or two exceptions, but like there's a million examples.
Yeah, I gotta disagree because most of the examples we use, they don't necessarily fit that.
I don't know really how you could say otherwise.
Because 50-50 is not the reason Black Ops 7 is ass. Trust me, I know I played the whole campaign. Avowed is like somewhere in the middle, not a success, but not a major flop. Dragon Age Veilguard definitely failed. But I don't think it's the characters, I just think it's the game. From what I can tell from actual criticism, the writing was the worst part about Dragon Age Veilguard. Same thing with Star Wars Outlaws. Not necessarily a character design issue. The game's just ass. The gameplay is not fun. The story is not well written. It's not a well put together game in my opinion. I think you're definitely oversimplifying it to fit that agenda. Any creative has to balance what they want to make with what they think others will enjoy. Sometimes it doesn't line up. Gaming will be okay. But okay, cool. They don't like Mystique.
It sounds
whatever.
Okay.
DEI Mystique.
Yeah, sure.
They love manly men in their video games, right? So Wolverine at the very least being the main character and the main focus about this game, that should be enough for them to not be complaining too much.
Sure. Unhinged emotional meltdown of Insomniac Wolverine fanboys is priceless. We're gonna have a fun year. This is Wolverine, Wokeverine for the modern Pedro Pascal audience, non-binary. I don't even know what it is.
You don't even know what it is?
Like, I mean, it looks fine to me.
It looks fine to him. You heard it here.
Like, I mean, it looks fine to me. I don't even know why they're mad.
I don't even know why they're mad. Yeah, you heard bro. This Wolverine is a soy boy to them. This Wolverine.
The trouble just has a way of finding me.
Isn't Wolverine enough for these people? Dog, it gets to... What are we talking about? I'm watching this man turn people into Anakin Skywalker, bro. Leaping at people with max ferocity. Yeah. This man is about homicide now. And it's not enough for y'all? This is ass. This is ass to y'all? Like, it gets to a point where I really wonder, what is it that y'all want from these games? They are just committed to the grift, bro. It's insane. Remember...
Well, I mean, really, if they're so committed to the grift, you should at least explain what it is. Like, I mean, there's probably a reason why they said that. He didn't even explain why they said that.
What? I'll let you finish before I say anything.
He didn't even explain why they said that. All he did really was like go and show a tweet of a person saying it was woke or bad. He didn't even show why they think that or anything. He didn't even present their argument. He didn't even make a counter argument against what they said.
Okay. ASMONGOLD. What are you talking about? Are you actually thinking about the words you're saying, or are you just yapping on autopilot? The whole video you're watching is about why people like him say what he said. It's my whole point. You really said, I didn't even explain.
He didn't even show why they think that or anything. He didn't even present their argument.
Money! The answer is money, bro. What do you mean? That's what I've been saying. You're talking about I didn't explain the tweet's argument. I don't think he has an argument. I think he's bullshitting for engagement. I've said that. And even if I didn't say that, since when is it down to me to explain his argument? Like, what the fuck are you talking about right now, dude? They didn't explain why they think it's bad. They didn't produce their argument. It doesn't fall on me to do that, and I don't think there is an argument. That's the point I think you're missing. He just said something to try and piss people off and start a hate campaign against Wolverine. My counter argument that you said I didn't have, even though I just don't think you've been listening, is that what he's saying is complete nonsense. How do I explain his argument when you yourself said you don't even know what that guy's complaining about?
Like, I mean, it looks fine to me. I don't even know why they're mad.
You don't even see the issue, which means you and I agree. But somehow it falls on me to explain his argument. That makes no sense.
Who said that? Also, like, yeah, one guy said that. I don't even know. Like, as far as I know,
okay,
nobody really thinks that except for like maybe a few people on Twitter.
There's people in your chat right now saying the same shit. You can't make this up, bro. Yes, I used him as my main example for the point I was trying to make right there. That's not crazy. And his tweet is important because if grifting culture wasn't as prevalent as it is right now, I don't think this guy would have tweeted this shit at all. Cause like you said, what the hell's he even talking about? That's just the one tweet I chose to use. And again, it's how grifting culture encourages this type of bullshit anyway. Just listen to a clip of one of my favorite grifters, the wonderful
Let's get it.
Let me just play you a quick clip of something she said recently. My favorite.
One thing that I thought was really weird about this trailer that I had said while I was live streaming the State of Play is the fact that 90% of the enemies that Wolverine is beating up are minorities.
If he doesn't say anything about this, you already know.
So I just have a very sneaking suspicion that it's going to be about his white privilege and him coming to terms with that and him trying to become a better man.
Jesus.
I just have a feeling that that is not a coincidence.
Oh, Vara. Come on.
Yeah, it could be a reach. Sure.
Thank you, ASMONGOLD. I appreciate you, gang. She's on a ladder reaching for the stars, brother. My sweet, sweet angel. Are you smoking crack? This is how you know these people don't play or care about the games they're talking about at all. They just want to monetize off of your outrage. Why does it look like Wolverine's fighting a lot of minorities in the Wolverine game trailer? I don't know, man. Could it be that...
Who knows?
Who knows? I know. We know.
Who knows why?
The game's not in fucking America? Dog, the game is set in Madripoor, a fictional country, not the United States. So if anything, Wolverine is the minority where he's at in that story. And guys, who knows? I know. We all know. Get back here, ASMONGOLD. You do not just get to who knows your way out of that one, gang. You're not even gonna acknowledge that. She is literally doing what I'm calling out. She's trying to manufacture outrage by saying Wolverine is killing a bunch of minorities. It's a white guilt story. Oh, we're under attack. And she couldn't be bothered to do one Google search to see it's not in America. The double standard is crazy here, ASMONGOLD. Come on, bro. You just attempted to grill me for not doing my due diligence, even though it's not my job to explain someone else's argument. Vara Dark is over here starting up some pretty serious claims about the Wolverine story with no sort of evidence to back her claims up at all, just going off of vibes and emotion bait. And you're just like, yeah, who knows? We'll let her slide on that one. Rules for thee, not for me type shit. Okay. Now I see how you operate. I get it. These people do this with every game now.
Yeah.
I just showed you them saying Mystique in the new Wolverine game ain't sexy enough for them. So that begs the question, what do they want these characters to look like? And of course, it was no other game than Ghost of Yotei to provide us an answer to this question. Yeah.
This one, bro, 56 million views.
Definitely bait. No doubt it's bait. But again, y'all see that blue check mark? He's getting paid for this bullshit.
And here's what I would say about this. If she looked more like the character on the left,
he's gonna say
they would have sold more copies. That's all. You take everything else and you say everything else is the same. But you change the way that she looks and you make her look like she was from Stellar Blade.
Oh, dog.
You would have sold more copies than you did already.
You know what's funny about that? Game identity is real. It wouldn't fit the setting or narrative if Atsu was running around half naked. That's not the story they wanted to tell. And going by your logic, if attractiveness trumps all, Stellar Blade should be a much bigger game than Yotei, especially having a whole year head start on it. What do you know? Yotei sold more copies in less than 2 months on one platform than Stellar Blade did in a whole year with a PC release. Damn. I guess it's not all about boobies.
That's not about the game being bad.
Okay.
It's about it being better.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Again, sales numbers don't lie.
A game can be successful despite this, but it's never going to be worse because of it.
I disagree.
I'll tell you that.
I disagree. That's definitely not true. Yes, it definitely can make a game worse. If her character was the only one designed over sexually in this world, that would not fit the game. The whole shit would be immersion breaking. Holy fuck, we cannot be serious. If Ghost of Yotei made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. Crazy. Holy
Are we really going to try to talk about how, like, for example, Stellar Blade wasn't massively popular because of the way that Eve looked?
Are you deadass? You know how many people didn't play Stellar Blade because they labeled it a gooner game? See, this is the funny part. I like Stellar Blade. I'm perfectly fine with hot women in my game. You think I'm not. And I tried to convince so many people that Stellar Blade was a good game with a really good story and great combat. And so many people didn't give it a try because they labeled it as a gooner game. So no, you're not objectively right here.
I feel like a lot of people know about Tomb Raider and they probably play Tomb Raider because Lara Croft was hot as hell.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair, but that fits more for those games. You may not immediately like lust over Atsu from Ghost of Yotei over like a Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but when I first saw Atsu, I thought she looked cool as shit. Her design definitely made me intrigued, and I definitely wanted to spend time with her character and learn more. And I didn't even have to see her boobs for that. I mean this with all sincerity, bro. You cannot be dead ass. Bro, this...
I'm dead ass. I'll say it right now. I think that if you put an, like, this is a thing for me, is that if I see an ugly female main character, I assume the game's going to be shit.
Okay, that sounds like a you problem, bro. I don't know what you want me to say. Sounds like you want every woman in a video game to be straight gooner material, and anything less than that is just ugly to you automatically? Only game I can even recently think of that a lot of people hopped on the train of calling the main character ugly were the Horizon games, bro. And despite all the bullshit, the Horizon franchise has been massively successful for PlayStation. And even then, I feel like she just looked normal, like just an average woman in a primitive world. There's no makeup in the apocalypse, y'all.
Because nobody wants to look at an ugly bitch.
Facts.
Nobody does.
Facts.
Women don't want to look at that.
Facts.
Men don't want to look at that.
Facts.
Nobody wants to look at that.
You're right.
And whatever the sales numbers for the game were, they would have been higher if she was more attractive.
Not always the case, man, but we'll get more into that one in a minute.
Because here's the logic that I'm using with this. You can go and say that you don't care the way a character looks. And I think that's totally justified, totally valid.
I'm actually not saying I don't care how a character looks. Character design is important. Of course I know that. I'm saying you can critique a design you don't agree with without slapping some political label on it and calling it a day. I'm saying character design variety is good. I'm saying I don't care if Mystique has that butt naked look to her in the game like she does in the movie. As long as she looks the part and isn't offensive to look at and is in line with the character, then why are we complaining about her being DEI? Okay?
But there are other people out there that do.
Okay.
So whenever there's a decision and you are classifying yourself as a person who doesn't care about the decision,
right?
I think that you do care about the decision.
Oh.
But you want to act like you don't so you can pretend like you're above it. The truth is that if there's a group of people that don't care and a group of people that do care and want one thing, logically, what any developer should do is do what the group of people that do care want so they can maintain the people that don't care because categorically, by definition, they don't care, so it's not going to matter to them.
Okay.
And they also get the people that do care and you attract them too. It's just common sense.
You know what I do care about, ASMONGOLD? I care about variety. I don't care if my game has an Eve or an Aloy. As long as the game is good, I'm good. But why do you want a one-size-fits-all type of design for these characters? The people making the game have to be involved, man. They're not just slaves making products for us. I think their creative input matters even if you don't. And again, what you're forgetting is some games are legit stories with real identities. And for the immersion to stick, you have to keep your identity. You miss out on so much character variety and different personality if you just make cookie-cutter designs for all your characters. I care about judging Mystique on if she looks like Mystique, not calling the whole game woke because her butt's a little flatter than you wanted. It's insane how you can just miss that point again and again and again. It's ridiculous to expect or even want every single game to have a hyper-stylized, hyper-sexualized look to all their characters. And when certain games don't have that style, it's so dumb to jump on the hate campaign and call it woke slop and shit, because that harms actual productive criticism and debates in gaming. That's been my same argument and same point the entire time. No matter how many times you try to spin it around or make it something else than it is or put words in my mouth, that's what it's been. Game is set in the 1600s. I'm a
Single
gamer.
proof that
I
guys
don't need my character to look like this shit. Nobody in the 1600s is looking like this, bro. Shit, nobody today is naturally looking like this. And I'm a gamer, bro. I'd much rather have my character look like this. Forget the yitties. Like, if it fits the story.
I think that really it's the choice, right? And I think having the choice is what matters the most. Like, I don't think that you should over-sexualize a character and, like, mandate it. I think that the best option, and this is the thing that I think women want, is that there are some women that like over-sexualized characters like Bayonetta or Eve or 2B.
Sure.
And there's also other women that like, you know, really kind of realistic characters like Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
And I think that giving people the option to choose is the best option.
Okay, pause. First of all, I'm proud of you, ASMONGOLD. That right there is actually valid criticism. We might have gotten somewhere right there. However, I don't fully agree. I do think there's a lot of times where player choice is an improvement no matter what, but not always with creative endeavors like this. The game is a creation. Atsu was an idea in someone's head that they had to make come to life. They have a vision for how they want her portrayed and how they want her story told. That's what you keep forgetting. We spend our money on entertainment. That doesn't mean we get to decide how all of it is produced. If a movie comes out and you watch the trailer and it's not your style, it doesn't look like something for you, you probably won't see it. You'll just save your money, and that's fine. But if you could go to the movies and choose yourself how every scene of the movie played out, then whose story is being told? So you could give us options to wear less clothes in the game. I think that's what you want. And sometimes that's cool and it works. Like you could get butt-ass naked in Stellar Blade. Cool. Still sold less than Yote. But some stories are told with intent and purpose and meant to be experienced the way they were crafted.
But I do think that in general, like you would sell more copies if the character was more appealing. It's guaranteed.
I mean, dog, but what does more appealing mean to you, though? You just said it's not about having a different body or less clothes, so what is it? What other options are you wanting in the game, then?
If you think that's not true, then why is it that every single gacha game has attractive female characters?
Here we go. We've already addressed this point. We're not going to repeat too much. Again, I don't think they're really comparable. Gacha games, that's their aesthetic. That's their thing. It's hyper designed. All the characters look hot. It's supposed to be eye candy quick. A game that's supposed to be more realistic and immersive, that art style won't necessarily fit that. And that's okay.
I mean, how many points on the graph do you need to make a line again?
He loves saying that, bro.
It's just so obvious.
You love saying that. That's your favorite term. Porn is free, you feel me? If you're really trying to see all that, you know, hit the Google one time or hear me out. Even better, go talk to a woman in real life. I know, that's a crazy ass.
Well, I mean, like, this is what's funny to me is like, you're going to go and call these people weird, but then you want them to go fuck with real life women? Wouldn't it be better they sit on a game, think that they're in a relationship with some fucking random anime girl? Wouldn't that be better for real women if these people are so...
What? Despite how fucking insane that sounded, I actually kind of get what you mean. But that wasn't the dunk you think it was, bro. That was dumb as hell. If you're obsessed and needing every game that comes out to have the women designs be over-sexualized, and if it's not, it's considered woke, I think you could benefit from stepping outside, meeting a couple real people, having some conversations with real women, touching grass. I mean, yeah, I think that's beneficial.
So, like, I'm not sure why he's trying to put this on real women.
Oh, shut the hell up, man. But these people don't want to get better. Just look at the chat that I see right now. Women in real life? Hell no. He's probably joking. Probably not.
So, I mean, I feel like you're doing, I mean, really, these gacha games are doing a public service, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually they are, and that's part of my point. If you want a game where all the characters are designed like that, go play a gacha game. Go play the games that exist with that design in them. But don't throw that desire on every game that comes out or it's just not a valid game. This is what gives gamers a bad rap, bro. I'll look at tweets like this.
Yeah, a bad rap. See, you can talk about bad raps all you want and like opinions. See, this is, people like this really care a lot.
Oh no, he about to. Here we go, ASMONGOLD. Let's hear it. You've contradicted yourself 20 times in this video alone. But yes, tell me about people like me. I'm listening.
People like this really care a lot about how they're perceived. They care a lot about how other people think about them and how other people view them. The truth is that the way that people view you isn't really relevant. It doesn't really matter. So like if you want to go around and be like, oh, well, people think this is bad and like this is what other people's opinions are. Why does that have anything to do? Like, you're using an argument that, like, other people think this is bad, so it's bad.
What makes you come to that conclusion? Me saying this type of stuff gives gamers a bad rep doesn't make me some white knight, you know what I mean? I do think shit like this can turn new people off from gaming, though. Or rather, turn some people off from engaging in certain parts of gaming. And bro, you're reaching so hard to sound smarter than you actually are. It's not working, fam. All I've been saying since my first vid is this. Grifters are ruining gaming discourse by manufacturing outrage for money. That's just my opinion as someone who games every day and is on the internet every day. And starting whole ass hate campaigns on a game because you don't agree with a design choice, it's dumb and it's not productive to gaming. And it's so ironic because I could say the exact same thing about you. You yourself said there's nothing wrong with Mystique's design in Wolverine PS5. Then immediately jumped to, well, why can't we have hot girls in games? Even though you know that's not what I was saying. Just so you could appeal to your fanboys. Then followed that up by jumping even further to, well, why are they intentionally making these characters ugly? You must have gotten a full stretch with all that reaching you're doing, fam.
Like, it's like basically an approval perception argument.
Come on,
it's
bro.
Nothing.
Lock in.
And also, by the way, it's disproven every single time in every single game.
Really? What are you even saying is being disproven? What do you even think my argument is at this point, ASMONGOLD? You've completely lost the plot and started making up your own shit along this journey. You're saying I'm basically upset at nothing, which is funny because I'm just tired of you guys getting upset over nothing and burning all meaningful gaming conversations to the ground in the process. I just feel disappointment, bro. Like, this tweet really just describes everything in a nutshell, bro. Because, like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? And the real irony of this tweet, it came out October 8th. The caption reads, if Ghost of Yote made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. The game came out October 2nd and sold 1 million copies the first day, which means...
No, it didn't. That was from a third-party website, and there's no definitive proof of that at all.
Oh,
PlayStation
he seems sure of that.
Or Sucker Punch Games, which are the developer, published anything about the game having a bunch of sales.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, this is a third-party resource that has derived the sales numbers but they don't actually know that.
So you're sure we don't have it?
I think it probably did sell over 1 million copies. Did it sell over 1 million copies on the first day? I don't think so. Probably not. Maybe. But like, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was very.
Oh, well, first he was saying that he's completely sure that it didn't sell 1 million first day. Now he's saying he's not sure.
So maybe it did. I don't know. But like, I do know that he doesn't know. And I know that I don't really know either.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like that. I can appreciate the slight backpedal and acknowledging you don't know either. In the name of accountability, I'll be honest. You are right that at the time of making that first vid, PlayStation themselves had not confirmed 1 million sales on the first day. I thought it was confirmed by PlayStation at the time, but it was a third party, and that was my mistake. Many claims and reports still say it did 1 million the first day, but there's no confirmation from PlayStation. However, something else did get confirmed by PlayStation. Ghost of Yotei sold 3.3 million copies in the first month. With numbers like that, I'm willing to bet it sold 1 million or more by the time this dumbass tweeted this tweet. And by the way, that's 3.3 million copies sold with Atsu looking the way she does.
You're going to go and not sure about that? Well, I mean, I'm sure that I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
And
Fair
I'm
enough.
sure also that he's not sure.
Okay.
I don't know why he'd say it. It sold 3.3 million copies.
By the
Steam
time
DB?
this
Yeah. It's our first day.
dumbass tweeted this tweet, the game
And you know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Is that it could have been 3.4 if she looked more attractive.
Sex sells, but it has to make sense in the environment. Again, Stellar Blade versus Yotei being a prime example.
The argument that I'm not making an argument that you can't sell a game with an unattractive character, but I'm saying that you'll sell more games with an attractive one.
Okay.
That's the difference.
This is like the third argument you've changed to, bro. Which one is it? Again, Stellar Blade versus Yotei being a prime example. The only leg up I can give Yotei is that it's a sequel. It was carrying the Ghost name franchise, so it has a leg up there. But if he's saying attractive character trumps all, that's not the case. It already sold well over.
That's a weak argument? What? No.
Wow! McQueen is fading. Even your own comment section is challenging you. I would have never thought. Even they're starting to call you out on your bullshit, gang. Even they're like, I don't know, Asmongold. To me, that speaks volumes. They don't care about these games at all. They just want to piss you off and then run up money off you talking shit underneath their tweet about the game. It makes no sense. Bro, y'all cannot be falling for this, bro. And y'all cannot genuinely convince these people to make you care about dumb shit like this. It doesn't matter. Like, bro, now they're coming after The Witcher 4. The Witcher series being one of the most...
I thought that was silly too, honestly.
Hey, look at that. We agreed upon something else. My dog. Franchises ever. What are they mad at this time? Go ahead.
Tsushima sold 2.4 in 3 days. Maybe, I don't know. But like my opinion on it is very simple. I think that in general, if you change that, and like also, would it have sold more copies if it had a male protagonist or a more attractive female protagonist, or the people that were running the company or working at the company didn't say weird stuff about Charlie Kirk? I think undeniably it's true. Like, I don't see how you can you can look at the controversies that these companies have and the amount of people that are unhappy about the way that they're making a game and then say that these things are actually positives for the game. Now, while they might not be an inhibitor from the game being successful at all.
Sure.
And I think that there are games that can be successful despite that. I think that in every single case, they are working against the success of the game.
Interesting. Grass is green ass statement. Who is saying controversy is good for a game? Where did you get that? You were just saying an attractive character will sell more games than an ugly one, which at face value, you're not wrong about. I just think it goes deeper than that. Now you're saying I think certain controversies and things like that are good for these games? What are you smoking, dog? What are we really talking about here, man? A couple of extra few thousand sales when the game's already considered a massive success by PlayStation? It's about making money, yes, but also delivering a creative experience that makes us want to spend the money on it. Could it have sold a few more copies with a male lead? Maybe. But how many games like that do we have? Variety is cool, man. If every decision we made when making a game was the safest, most profitable option, how much variety would we have? We wouldn't have shit! They did Tsushima justice with Ghost of Yotei. It's a worthy sequel. PlayStation seems fine. They're getting money. Hogwarts Legacy could have sold more if it didn't have a controversy. It was still massively successful, and it's getting a sequel. Yeah, I do think design variety is a good thing in gaming. I'm saying Mystique not having a Kim Kardashian ass doesn't make the game worse, and it's not something worth boycotting the game over. That's batshit crazy, bro. Like, come on now. Y'all take a quick
Yotei
guess.
said Tsushima? I know. That's what I was saying.
You ready? DEI makes everything worse, and it's just two pictures of the main character. At first, I just thought they were mad that this game has a female lead, but no. Right. They're just mad that she's not hot enough for them. Again, crazy take. I know y'all don't talk to women in real life. Come on, man. She's ugly to y'all? And
I never thought she was either, honestly.
My boy! Is that the third time in one video that me and Asmongold have agreed? Hey, man, maybe you're not so bad. We could probably be homies.
I never thought she was either, honestly.
Again, I have to stress this. Even if she is ugly to y'all,
Right.
who gives a damn?
Right.
This is not Concord, right? Concord was another story. Concord was a hero shooter, right? A hero shooter.
Facts.
Every character has a unique design, unique abilities. They have to incentivize you to play said characters.
Facts.
No one's going to spend money playing a hero shooter where none of the heroes look good at all. But
Well, then why would they want to play a hero shooter or hero game where the hero doesn't look good, period?
well, damn, man, if you let me finish my sentence, maybe you would have heard the rest of my point.
Like, I don't really see the logic there. Is it like, so you're going to use the logic that a hero shooter is going to have a unique perspective where people don't want to play ugly characters, but they would want to play an ugly character if it's a single player game? Doesn't even make sense.
That's not what I'm saying. Why does every hero shooter have super loud, flashy designs, kind of like gacha games do? Because everyone has a set look, and that's all you have to go off of. You have to win people over with that design, because that's the first thing that's probably going to make them choose to play that character. Every hero shooter has flashy designs to make the characters look cool and feel unique. I'm saying Concord failed at this miserably. But as long as the main character in a story mode game isn't but ugly, they don't have to have a super flashy design, because you're spending time getting to know that character. You're also getting the world, the narrative, all these other things that you don't get in a multiplayer game like Concord. So even more of a reason why Concord can't afford to fuck up their designs, because there's nothing else to fall back on other than design and gameplay. So what I'm really saying is, I get your point about attractiveness selling games, and I'm saying I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all thing. I think it applies more harshly depending on the game you're playing. Because why are we nitpicking already established designs that honor the main source material and writing off whole games before they come out because of that? Story mode game, something that follows a narrative with a lead character that's been with the franchise for what, over 20 years now? Like, what are we even talking? Even further, the more specific point I was trying to make was, people saw Ciri and started calling The Witcher 4 woke, DEI, because now she's the Witcher. And that's the same stuff they said about Concord. Even though the two situations are completely different, it's the same tired labels being thrown at both. Most story games' main characters that you guys call ugly just aren't hypersexually designed, they just look more realistic. They're calling The Witcher 4 woke, even though the new lead character is a character that's been with the franchise for how long? If you're calling that woke and DEI shit, you truly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's stupid criticism. And when I tell you guys, I could go on all day finding stupid ass examples of shit like this dumbass said 13 million copies sold versus 1.3 million sold. Like I said, Ghost of Yotei is a flop. You even got the community note on, bro.
Sold 13 million. That's a lot.
It's great. Ghost of Tsushima came out 5 years ago, gang. 5. If you think Ghost of Tsushima sold 13 million copies in its first day, let alone its first week,
Right.
let alone its first month,
Right.
let alone its first year,
Right.
you're smoking dick. I believe the
I don't know whether Ghosts of Yotei will or not. I mean, honestly, like, I played the game. I thought it was all right.
irrelevant. Shut the fuck up, ASMONGOLD. I bring up another example of someone baiting for money, and he won't even acknowledge it. Bro got community noted. That's all I have to say.
Right? It wasn't, like, really great. In my opinion, I thought Rise of the Ronin and fucking Where Winds Meet was, like, way fucking better than those games. So, yeah.
Oh my god. Actual game criticism. I love that, ASMONGOLD, and I would love to hear why you like those games more than Ghost of Yotei. I'm not being sarcastic. This is some of the first real criticism I've heard from you, bro. I would love for you to keep that energy going.
I don't know.
First year sales numbers of Ghost of Tsushima was around 6.5 million copies sold.
That's a lot of
How can you
sales.
compare the That is a lot of sales, but Yotei is halfway there after 1 month of release. 1 month. That was 6.5 million for Ghost of Tsushima in a year. 1 month down, and Yotei is halfway there, and they're still trying to downplay this shit, bro. It's crazy. Sales numbers to a game that's been out for 5 years to a game that hasn't even been out for a full month. But this is my point. These people aren't this fucking dumb. They might be, but I just can't believe that they might be. But what they do know is that there's somebody dumb enough out there to agree with them and believe the shit they're...
Well, there's enough people that are dumb enough that that's the reason why they're changing the games. That's the reason why he was complaining.
Here we go back to the...
They're changing the games. The woke mind virus is coming for all of our games.
Give me a break, ASMONGOLD.
So there are a lot of people that feel this way, and they don't like this type of stuff. So it doesn't really matter, like, whether you think that it's good or not. If there's a lot of people out there that feel that way, then it's real. It's just that simple. Like,
what an awful argument. If I say dating a minor is bad, and there's a group of people that say, no, that's okay, we should allow that. I don't care how many fucking people join that movement, they're wrong. And it's funny because you wouldn't even live by your own logic. If a bunch of people got together and said, male lead characters are ruining video games, every game from now on needs a female lead character, and that movement got 10 million signatures, how seriously would you take it, ASMONGOLD? How accepting of that real opinion would you feel, ASMONGOLD?
I don't know. Like, it's not really complicated.
Saying not only that, but they also know there's people that know the truth. People that know they're bullshitting that are going to go underneath their post and call them out. And guess what? Both groups of people give them money.
I really think that this is probably overstated, especially for like a big creator. Like the amount of money, like Andy Pants probably makes a good amount of money through YouTube as well. He gets sponsors, like his views get like, videos get like 100K views, etc. Like the reality is that the amount of money that you make from like a rage bait tweet on Twitter, and like you can just do one yourself, and like maybe this guy would know because maybe he's getting some money off of Twitter. I have no idea. It's really pennies, right? You're making like maybe at most like maybe a couple $100s a month. The majority of people that do that aren't making any real money. Like
so they're making money, enough money that it's a consistent avenue for them to keep doing this. And you gotta think, what is not a lot of money to a millionaire? Didn't you literally agree earlier that people abuse it too much? Twitter's for the fast engagement, the fast account building. It might take you a while to edit a YouTube video. You can pop off an engagement bait tweet in 1 second. Then you take that over to YouTube. There's several well-known grifters that do this.
And maybe you get $1,000 once. It's not like it's going to be happening regularly.
Just straight bullshitting, bro, because why would people spend their time doing it every day if they didn't make any profit from it? Again, you agreed it's a problem. Roll the clip.
Game to have a better approval process because too many people use it badly.
I just hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we got this dude Grums over here talking about games being DEI, woke. He's not supporting Ghost of Yotei and games like that. For fuck's sake, man. Like, bro, this dude is a 60-something-year-old man. Hang up the jersey, Unc.
I see that chuckle.
This dude is a 60-something-year-old man. Hang up the jersey, Unc.
I see that smile, Asmon. Hey, I see that smile, Asmon. Hold on.
Listen, I do want to say something real quick. I don't like Grums, but that wasn't cool. If you're 60 years old, you can game, man. I hope I'm gaming when I'm 60. But I do hope when I turn 60, I'm not still rage baiting people on X for rent money. You do a lot of yapping about games you don't like for a guy that still hasn't put out the game he was supposed to put out.
What's wrong with that?
This 60-something-year-old man got money out of the people that supported him. He raised money to make a game and never released it. So you're talking about all these games that are woke and DEI and shit, dog. At least they came out. Seems to me you need to be spending a little bit less time on Twitter and a little bit more time getting to work with your bitch ass.
He does need to make that game. Honestly, I gotta say, I gotta agree with this. Right? Should make the game.
Yotei might be woke. I gotta say, this is one of the funniest parts of the whole vid. Obviously, there's some contention. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of debate. There's a little bit of back and forth here. His chat, not a big fan of me, and that's understandable. But I do think what's hilarious, the one thing we all agreed upon for the first time in this whole video, all of us being me, him, and his chat, is that Grums, where the fuck is that game at? Even ASMONGOLD is like, for real, where's that game at? It might have a woman protagonist. At least it didn't fucking scam me. If a game is ass, I will be the first one to tell you. But criticize the game off real criticism points. Why are we immediately acting like a game is dead on arrival because it has a woman main character?
Well, because sometimes they are. That's the reason why. And I think that a lot of the games that do that, I mean, again, Ghost of Yotei, I think, succeeded for a number of reasons, right? Number one, I think the game is relatively good. On top of that,
I will say 5 seconds ago, it's a little weird. You just said the game wasn't your favorite. It was all right. Now you're saying it's, you know, more than average. It's pretty good. So, you know, keep it consistent, my dog. You feel me?
Came out after Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
And Ghost of Tsushima was very, very well received.
Right.
It also had a tremendous amount of marketing.
No doubt.
And overall, like, it's not like the problems with the game that people had, like, oh, wow, it's woke or whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't really manifested in the game in a big way. Like,
imagine that.
The issue that like people had, oh, the development team, the lead actress said that she liked Antifa or something like that. That's not manifested inside of the game.
Oh! Imagine that. People can hold beliefs, political beliefs even, that don't align with yours, and still make a product that you think is good, without being riddled by a bunch of propaganda like you assume it's going to be.
I don't think that doing that is a net positive. And I think that's really what needs to be discussed more, is that just because something succeeds despite having these disadvantages doesn't mean that they aren't disadvantages. And that's the point that I make with a lot of these games, is that sometimes these games can do relatively well. And I think that probably Ghost of Yotei probably made them money because they sold it. I think it took them like $60 million to make the game.
Right.
But in a general sense, I don't think that a lot of these games make money at all.
Okay. Relative is crazy, bro. There's no way. You're still trying to downplay the success of Ghost of Yotei because you said a bunch of stuff about the game before it was even out. You played it and realized, oh shit, it's actually pretty good. It didn't maybe make PlayStation money, bro. It's a smash hit, massive success, and that's not not me glazing PlayStation or Sony or Ghost of Yotei, it's just numbers. And it's so crazy how you'll commend Ghost of Tsushima for having great sales numbers, while say that Ghost of Yotei only has decent sales numbers because of how much it costs to make the game. Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei both cost the same to make. They both cost 60 million, bro. So why are you applying different logic to both of them? Yotei is also on pace to sell the same or more than Ghost of Tsushima. How can you ignore those facts?
That's why they're firing and closing studios for them being bad. And so that's it. A grain of shit in your rice is still shit in your rice. Exactly. And
I don't
so
know. You're only telling part of the story. Making a game costs way more now than it did before. The biggest games are like movies at this point. Sometimes things go wrong in development. AI is developing so fast, more and more studios are using it to cut down on costs and lay people off. Some studios make a successful game and still get shut down. I'm not saying every game studio deserves to stay open, especially if they make a shitty game or something like that, but you're acting like what you're saying is the case 100% of the time, and it's not.
If you're willfully engaging in things that are unpopular, problematic, or disliked by the majority of players, that will negatively affect your product. Now, everything is creative choice. I'm not saying that they can't do that, but with something like adding a character or making something like less attractive or something like that, or not appealing to people in one way or another, ultimately the player gets to decide whether that's valid or relevant at all.
Yeah. I actually pretty much agree with you here. So why is it so hard for you to give a game like Ghost of Yotei that same respect? It had the exact same budget as Tsushima. You wanted to hate this game. I don't know why, but despite that, people voted with their wallets. The players made it a successful game. But you're saying the game would be objectively better if the main character was more attractive to you. Brother, that's crazy. But even still, what I'll say is, Yotei and Hogwarts, massive controversies, massive successes. I'm saying what you're saying. Let people vote with their wallet. Leave it to the players who are actually trying and playing the games. If you care about gaming so much, criticize things that make gaming better and improve. I can smell you.
Oh!
My fault, bro. These people don't care about you. They don't care about video games. They care about money. And all they want to do is make you mad so they can make money off your reactions. If you find yourself...
Of course, we're not doing that with this video. It's completely different.
But what outrage am I manufacturing here? What have I said that I don't believe or that isn't true to gain money? Nothing. You tried, bro. It doesn't apply here. Look inward. Find Jesus. It's in such bad taste, and a lot of it is just lies and bullshit. And also one thing I want to say to my young men. Fellas, just because it's coming from a woman, you feel me? Doesn't mean this shit's true. I know. Some of y'all are hearing it come from a woman, and in your brain you're going, oh my gosh, she feels the same way I do. I knew I wasn't sexist. I just hate when bitches are in my game. No, bro.
Yep, true.
True. Which part is true, dog? Are you agreeing with me or saying that you don't like when bitches are in your game? I literally can't tell. I'ma just ignore that one. I'm not gonna lie. No, man. I just think we're in a really weird time. It seems like nobody wants to be happy.
It's again another. This is another instance of caring a lot about the way other people see you.
This is how we're gonna wrap this up, bro. This is your final argument. All right, I'll let you have the floor.
And I think this is really like people like this. They try to maintain a power dynamic around their approval and the approval of other people. But the truth is that I think that power dynamic is waning because overall, I don't think people care as much about it anymore.
Right.
And I think that's the reason why you're seeing so many people speaking out about this, because they don't like it.
Nah, man. I just feel the way I feel. And I know I'm not the only one that does. I talk about games every single day for a living, actually kind of just like you do, ASMONGOLD. And I've seen how people will just abandon all logic, throw whatever word they just learned at a brand new game to try to criticize it. Like, you actually agreed with me on several points in this vid, but then you had to frame it like you didn't and try to move my argument so you could still gain brownie points from your audience. Game comes out with a normal ass looking woman, DEI game, woke slop. Game comes out with a more fan servicey type of art style, Gooner game. This shit is Gooner slop. You know what happened to the hobby I love, bro? I'm just trying to play some good games, bro. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Not every game is perfect. Straight up. Bad games do deserve to be criticized. Trust me. Trust me. But lying and making up false things to be angry about just so you can get paid a little bit of extra money, that shit's loser activity, bro. Straight up. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what y'all think. Straight up. More videos on the way. Love y'all. Peace.
What I would say is that
talk to me, ASMONGOLD.
Yeah, like some of the examples were kind of stupid. Like the Witcher 4 one is dumb.
Yep.
But in a general sense, yeah, I'm not really about that. And also, it's the same thing I've said many, many times over and over and over again. If you go and you put out a game and the characters are not appealing, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Right,
And
okay.
if you weren't, you wouldn't have every gacha game showing that stuff. So yeah, it's a DEI video. No, I definitely don't agree with it. But I think that the examples he used,
DEI
I mean, to be fair,
video.
like,
DEI video. Someone in his comments, please explain DEI. I'd love to hear your definition.
and to be fair, to his credit, there are some people that use stupid fucking examples for DEI stuff.
Thank you.
Absolutely stupid fucking examples.
Thank you.
So yeah, Charlie Zam, Mashville video. I mean, I think that really some of the examples were good, some were more dishonest. Like
Fair
the
enough.
Wolverine example was kind of dumb because he didn't even really explain what they were talking about with it being woke. But
Again, not my job to explain someone else's argument, and I don't even think they had an argument. That's mostly my point there. You completely missed that point.
like the other clip, like for example, like Grum's not releasing the game, but then complaining about it. I love how this is the most, and I think this is a good example, right?
The most
Where is
replayed,
the
yeah.
point on your video that gets the most people looking at it?
Actually.
Right
Okay,
there.
yep.
Even your own video analytics that you can see on YouTube disproves what you're saying.
Actually, no, it doesn't. Because this YouTube video isn't a video game, and there's no entry fee. It's free here. So while yes, sex sells, it gets people going, you can't apply the same logic to a free YouTube video as a $60 video game. And again, you and I don't disagree on as many things as you'd like to make it seem like we do. When you're not putting on an act for your fans, at least. You like hot girls in games. That's cool. So do I. I hate the term gooner game because I think it's lame to boil a game down to just that. Just like it's lame to call a game woke DEI slop because you don't favor the design of a certain character. See, the issue is, I want you to have things that you like. I'm capable of seeing and accepting your opinion unlike you and your fans. I don't have to create some fake psychological reasoning and try to put you into that box like you keep trying to do to me. And it's funny because this is where we could actually have the more valuable conversations. But you don't actually care about real criticism for bettering gaming as a whole. You're trying to score brownie points amongst your very easily manipulated audience by goalpost shifting and dying on hills that I'm not even referencing. My man is tap dancing for them dollars. Hey, I respect the hustle. Not really. No game should intentionally make its characters ugly, unless we're talking about the enemies and shit. But game art styles can and should be different and unique. Something that's not super sexy doesn't immediately mean it's ugly as hell. Y'all gotta grow up. You completely missed the whole point of my original video by boiling it down to just
Ugly characters in game is bad.
which I mostly agree with you on. All I'm saying is writing an entire game off, labeling them DEI woke slop just because you don't personally agree with a design choice. Amongst other things that happen on X.com and YouTube, it's lame as fuck and does nothing to help gaming. Criticize a game for a real reason that makes the game what it is. You should quit YouTube and look into moving goalposts for a living, cause god damn, the way you missed every single point I made, actually kind of impressive. Anyway, that's all I got. We like hot characters. We like realistic characters. We like good games. Let me know what you guys think. More on the way. Love you guys. Peace.
We been steady mob, yeah. Running routes, we mob, yeah. In a whip, we mob, yeah. Money straight up past, yeah. Talking shit gon' cost, yeah.